Sarvetra Sukhina Santu Sarve Santu Niraya Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kaschit Dukkama. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Hari Om, that's it. We'll continue our journey in Srimad Bhagavad Gita. Last time we had joy dealing with chapter 2, slok 9, in which Krishna is talking about why we unnecessarily worry about or mourn over those who are alive and those who are departed. The example were given that really speaking, there is nothing coming in and nothing going out. And the reason we feel sorry is for fragmentation, division, yourness and minus. And we study what it is. It's an illusion. And we also carried something home with us as to, even though we realize this fragmentation is bad, division is death, and synthesis is life. We understand the whole universe is whole, is one. How often also we remind ourselves that I am full, I am total, I am whole, I'm perfect, I'm Purnam. But do we really pay attention to every word that we use? The sloka number 11 of the same chapter, chapter number 2, it also further explains. Let me first take you to that. What does it say? Let us first hear the chanting.
Natve vaham jatu nasam natvam me janadipa na chaiva na bhavishyamaha sarve vayamata param.
Now, if you go word by word, Natve vaham jatu, nasham natvam neme janadipa, na chaiva na bhavishyama, sarve vayamata param. No, of course, never, not. Two, however, each word, because not twe, but actually two eva aham. Those are the three words in one word. After Shanti, this is how it is read. So, however certain, it says no matter however certain we are, however sure we are, aham, I, jatu, at any time, at any point in future, past, or present, na again, name, nor asum, asum exist. We, at some point in time, we never exist, nor we do not exist. Nor tvam, you, ime, all this, jana, adipa, kings, adipa, the ruler. So nor the people, nor the king, no, never, cha, also, eva, indeed, no, bhavishyama, shall not exist. Bhavishyama, in the future, will not exist. Sarve vayam, all of us, ataha, from now, param, after. So what does it say? If we just look at the translation, never was there a time when I did not exist. Nor you exist. Nor all these kings. Nor in the future shall any of us cease to be. So it says, we say that today you're born, life is so short, and why do you worry? You're making all this effort to earn all this money, create the wealth, and you will have to leave everything here and you will go. You are not permanent. This is the way society has taught us. Our parents have taught us, we have learned it. And we are teaching our children accordingly. So that just take it easy. You do dan dharam, dan donates, and dharam, righteous way of living. So be very careful as to how do you live. So right from the time onwards, we have been told that our life is transient, temporary. Jagat. That's local. I don't know how many times we will be chanting Jagatyam Jagat Ishavasya Upanishad, first sloka. But what it says and what we understand, there is vast difference. Each word needs to be understood. What is transiency? What is temporary? Temporary is the outer clothes or outer body. But the awareness, the consciousness, which is eternal and forever. Let me get up from here and we talk about it. So the two words, those are so important. what the scriptures talk about and what we understand. Scriptures talk about what is forever is awareness, is consciousness, is spirit. It is Brahman. And if I can give you an example, the example of water. It is very lovely Vedic example that we often learn of. And later on, we'll talk about how to apply in our life as a matter of daily reminder, so that some point in time, our thinking will change, our fundamentals will understand as to what is existence. Slok number 12 says that it was never that you or I were not there, and it will never be that you and I will not be in future. And you and I, that includes king too. King meaning usually what happens during those days, the soldiers and civils used to fight, and so their life here was considered to be very transient. But they were thinking, though, the kings will live long or they'll live forever. So they say, neither the king nor us. That is what the feelings all of us we have, that we are gonna die. We were not, we are now, we will not be. In that, when this kind of thinking prevails, what we normally do, we identify ourselves with this 5-element body. But what constitutes life? That awareness, before the awareness acquires the body, awareness was there. And once the body, deceased body, leaves it, or it merges back into its own 5 fundamental element, awareness still remains. So the scripture, when it talks about that it was never the time when you were not. What is the example? If we relate that to the example of waves, anytime we go to the beach and once there are not that many waves, you can say the waves are not there. But one that owns the wave, the fundamental element, which is water, water is always there. It was there when the waves were not. Water is there when the waves are, and water will be when the waves are not in future. So what truly happens is the shape is coming into picture. Water element takes the form, and if there is any color, so shape, size, color, and certain characteristic. So nama rupa vyavhara, Those three elements we have studied so many times. So those three elements exist, but all those three elements are transient. And without that too, the water remains. So all the scriptures that are talking about is that awareness, that element called water. But mind you, these are all examples. Okay? So understand the different forms in an ocean, very silent and serene water. That's the mass of the water. As soon as any disturbance sets in, amount of the water and the characteristic of the water does not change. It takes the shape of a wave. It also can take the shape of a mist of water. It can also take the shape of a little wavelet, if I can use the word, meaning small waves, some disturbance. But in all those, what is common is water. And that common element is with all of us, and everywhere is the awareness. So the awareness may take different forms. Rupa literally means the shape and color. So it wears different identification. So once when that identification comes into picture, we say that some such thing or some such person was born, and we celebrate. As soon as we celebrate, everybody is a reminder that that child was not there before, but now it is. And at that time, we do not remind everybody that, hey, today it is, but after X number of years, maybe 60, 70, or 100 years, he will die and he will not be. But what will not be is the body. But the awareness, the life element with which is all the exhibition take place, all the activity that take place. Those activity are body dependent. It body, the instrument that takes care of it. But the water element, that is the awareness aspect, with which the things get executed, things get done. Meaning, we can take this exhibition into three fold of behavior. And as Swami Chinmayananji says, we have been given three equipment, which is body, mind, and intellect. Those are the equipment with which we see the world around. But behind these three elements is the awareness, is that Brahman element. And that element with which we call we are alive or we are dead. We are not dead. What is dead or what will be dead is the body. Now, we will talk about this in a few more minutes, despite the fact that intelligently we know that we never die. Isha Vasya Idam Sarva. In these all, Isha is indwelling. And it is indwelling and eternally dwelling. But what really happens is Jagatyam Jagat, that is, the changes that take place is at the Nama and Rupa. Nama, identification, understand this word. As soon as any name is given, we know it is the identifying remark. That means objectification takes place. That means identification comes into picture. You can look at this face, the hairs, my face is of one kind of shawl which I'm wearing. So with this you can say Swamiji is sitting, Swamiji is speaking. But truly speaking, is it Swamiji who is speaking or the body is speaking? And that body has been given the name Swamiji. And as soon as the body finishes its work and there is awareness is not being executed through this body, we think that I am dead. Still to understand the similar, and that will require real contemplation. Our concept that we carry, that we say, Atma chali gayi, meaning soul has departed. Soul does not depart. Understand? It is that equipment which is failing. It may appear to be a little harder to understand, but for that, our rishis and Vedic science has given a beautiful example. As a matter of fact, you can take two examples. You can take a transparent plastic cup, and the ocean exists, and put the cup either upside down or just fill it up full of water. And then you crush the cup. Once you crush the cup, what happens to the water which was within? Can you say water chali gayi? Water was there, but ignorant person like us, we had created the boundary around and we identified that as contained water. But the water is the same element, same awareness. So the life element exists forever. And when I say forever, still it relates to the time. Eternal. Eternal meaning beyond the time, where the time element does not exist, the awareness of it. And maybe next time, I will play a beautiful video in which Swami Sarvapriyananda has explained so beautifully about the Brahman, Jiva, Jiva, Jagat, and Ishvara. That element is so well explained. Maybe we'll play that video sometime. And so far as I'm concerned, it is so beautiful, so powerful. The link for which I have already sent to all of you. And for that, my humble, personal, and very powerful recommendation will be that when you study that video, I'm not saying you watch that video, when you study that video, have totally undivided attention. Stay glued to your computer or your TV and you watch it singularly. Singularly meaning not in the presence of others, because somebody may feel like making some comment and that comment may distract you. So there are two videos, video 1 and video 2. They're very well done, very well done. And Swamiji explains it in a very powerful manner. So please, the time permits, watch it. And even also the Thursday's seminar that Swami Advaita Nandaji is talking about, he is also mentioning to us this 3 element, which is Jiva, Ishvara, and Jagat. Jiva, Jagat, Ishvara. We understand that we understand, but after some time, it gets lost because of the avrana, because of the filters, because of our egocentric development is so heavy, so powerful that, and every day we hear that some such person died. And what do all of us we say? May peace prevail to his soul. That means the water example that was given. We say the water which was boundaried by the cup, may peace prevail, as if the peace was not prevailing before. Water is the same. Ocean is the same. It was just that boundary that the boundary left. And the same way, as I was mentioning earlier, there are 2 examples. Instead of water, you take the air. And once when the air is contained in it, and you break the glass, and the question comes, what happened to the air? So we say, oh, the air went where? All around, whether there was a boundary or not, but the air was prevailing. So the consciousness, the awareness exists. So we think we understand the word awareness, but are we truly understanding? So my humble suggestion would be to watch that video a couple of times. That will lead us to Nididhyasa. And that's the reason I made it a point not just to mention to you that please watch this video. I sent out an email, and also you don't have to search for it. Just click on that word and it will take you through YouTube and watch it. Once again, I'm mentioning to you, dear friends, it's not just once you have to watch it. I personally have watched 4 times. That doesn't matter that you may be as dumb as I am, and I require a lot of clarity. That's why. And you may already be very clear about it. But my request will be enjoy it. And every time you contemplate on it, then only we can say, as sloka number 12 says, that it was never that something was not there in the past. That includes everybody and including the king. Now you know, I explained why Bhagavan Sri Krishna is talking about civil, meaning people and the king. Because normal understanding is that the king lasts more or longer. So they were never not there, and they will never be not there. Body will not be there, but the awareness shall always be, is always, and were always, or was always. So that eternal element with which the whole universe exists, that once when identified, fully digested, fully contemplated, and we are fully aware all the time of that awareness, then something which is there forever, something which was there now, and something which will be forever. So there is nothing to lose. Why then to worry, and why then to cry? So some of the suggestions which I would, if I can make, which I'm practicing, and those are, look at the most beginning of the life. And that is when we celebrate the appearance or the birth date. Oh, I have a grandson. Oh, he's so cute. Yes, he's cute. In this, with the social standard, you celebrate. But that's the time to remind yourself that even though the body came, the life element always existed. So it's not coming in anything. It is there. The body undergoes the changes. How often we have heard that, say for example, myself, when I was born, people say, oh my God, Swamiji's father had a son. How beautiful. And then after 5 years, they say, oh, you see, his memory is so sharp. He's walking, he's jumping. And then 15 years, 20 years, get married and have children and whatnot. But still, it's the same Swamiji. So what is that sameness which was present when Swamiji was just born, when Swamiji graduated, when Swamiji got married, when he became father, and what he is talking to you. Despite the bodily appearance changing, what is that I-ness in me that we all are witnessing? So that I-ness, so far it is with us, in front of us, it is easier to do it. But the day when my body ceases to exist by itself, then we'll say, oh, his spirit left him. It's not the spirit left him, that the misconception you have. When the waves are not there, doesn't mean the water in the wave is not there. That means the day when my body will not exist, that does not mean that the spirit, the awareness, the consciousness, Atma, left the body. No. Body disease and body got dissolved and non-functioning. So what, again, I'm saying is an aspirant, Vedantic student, when they are studying Vedanta, every appearance that takes place, every child which is born, you go, you, so to say, pretend that you are enjoying it, but internally you are aware. It is the body which is born. It is some disturbances in the pressure, in the wind, in the temperature that causes the water to take a form of a wave and goes up in the air. That does not mean the new water came in. Water is the same. The awareness, the consciousness is ever present. Purnamada. Isha Vasya Idam Sarvam. Avishyam parades. So the very first, even 3 words keep on reminding. So when people are celebrating and say happy birthday to you, you are saying internally, don't be loud. Isha Vaksha Idam Sarvam. Second time when they say happy birthday to you, you're saying Isha Vaksha Idam Sarvam. This is the time to learn. Thereafter, if certain sanskaras are celebrated, I'm talking about Hindu sanskaras, okay, in which mundan happens, the food is being secreted, lagna and others. So those at the time of sanskaras too, it is a social event, do enjoy it. But what? Isha Vaksha Idam Sarvam. That reminder, reminder, reminder. But the most critical reminder, so far as I'm concerned, is when you go to the funeral home. When you go to say goodbye to the body. And people cry and do all this thing. And that is the time you have to remind yourself only, mind you. And the reason I say yourself only, to the entire mass of the people, they have this filter so strong that Atma dies. But as Bhagavan Sri Krishna says, Atma never dies. Water always remains. It's just the external identity. It's only those three equipment, body, mind, and intellect. They go away. They go back and merge into their element. So, at every time when the changes take place, if you are brilliantly aware that this change which takes place is the external transient change. But as soon as you will be aware of the true science behind it, it makes the whole difference. Many years back, I remember, and I still have it. I'm not going to spend time to show you the picture, but many years back, I happened to be in Bakersfield, and we were having breakfast on the dining table. On the dining table happened to be a glass of water in front of me, and we were either scribbling or writing something, so I also had a pencil. And luckily on that day, the thought came and I put the pencil in the glass. When I put the pencil in the glass, pencil appeared bent. It appeared bent, but is it bent? That's the illusion. So illusion with a human life or life in general appears to be life element is leaving, but truly speaking, is it the life which is leaving, or the life element is eternally present? It just appears that it is leaving. So once you dip the pencil in, the pencil straightness appears to have gone. Could you do anything to straighten out the pencil? Or even do you have to make an effort to straighten out the pencil? But the wise man, those who know Vedanta very well, they know that there's nothing to be done. Pencil is straight anyway. That means what? Awareness is always there. It may appear that it has left the body. No. As a matter of fact, body has left and it is changing the form. So that reminder needs to be reminded every time. And once you start reminding, it may happen to be once or twice. Initially, the extent of sorrow will slowly be reducing. It's not going to happen overnight, and understand that. Because the conviction within all of us is so heavy. Myness and I-ness, bodiness and shaper. Objectification is so heavy so that we do not know the subject. It is the object, it is the shape, it is the color, it is the name that identifies it. But the true nature, Satya, is never thought of and is forgotten. And even the word Satya, we say this guy such and such is talking Satya. No, this is not. Satya, the truth, which always were, which always is, and which always will be. Satyam, Shivam, Sundaram. We have heard this kind of words so often. We've been even chanting. We go to the musical functions and we say, such and such fellow sings such a nice bhajan. Yes, those bhajans are great, but it sounds great to our ears. It does not penetrate in. That music is a music to our ears, but it is, if I can still call it, it's not a music for our internal being. And really speaking, there is nothing internal and external. Once that cup is in the water, it just appears like that boundary. So we can say some water is in and some water is out. There is nothing in and there is nothing out. It is present everywhere. And that element needs to be looked at. Keep on going beyond object and try to sink into the aha moment. When your eyes are open and you see something, have you ever questioned yourself, what is in you that really sees it? You need to ask an ophthalmologist or optometrist. They don't know. Whereby, please understand, I don't mean insulting them. Same way, your heart is beating, pumping. What makes heart to beat? So when you wake up and you put your hands on it and say, oh my God, what is it? And then try to sink into that aha moment and you start looking for the answer. I remember long ago we have heard, you will not get the answer, but the question will not remain. Why so? Because how can a subject be identified by an object? The awareness that makes the heart function. How could that instrument, which is called heart, is going to talk about the awareness? No. Awareness has no dimension. So you cannot say the awareness is round or square, or it has a blue color or white color or black color. None. So to say, you will not get the answer, but the question will not remain. You will reach in the state of silence. And that silence is not ignorance, mind you. Ignorance, avidya, is not the absence of knowledge, but still something on top of it. It is absence of knowledge, but it also have illusory imposition. We really speaking, we don't know that. So ignorance is that we don't know what is immortality, but we also know the illusory knowledge that there is nothing like Atma, but the body remains and the Atma leaves the body. That is illusory. That is Mrugajal. And that reminder needs to be reminded every time. You go and plant something. How does a seed manifest into a small germinated plant? You start going into the biology, botany, and look under microscope. Yes, but you will never understand what causes sprouting. And have you ever thought some aha moment that you may have some seeds lying dormant for, you can say, hundreds of years? You don't know that a rice or beans or chana, gram, and it will look like they are dead, but as soon as it gets certain environment, proper environment, like water and the soil and old soil, then it sprouts into. Have you ever thought what causes germination? That aha moment. And live in aha moment. And once again, try not to go to Google or any place else or consult heavy doctorate student of botany or biology. They will be enjoying the different part, different shape, different colors, different functions of a different plant, but they would not know what caused that germination. Now that is, still let me throw one more element, because we know there has to be a seed to germinate the life. But have you ever seen, you go to your bathroom and don't use the bathroom for quite a while, or don't clean them, and you will see the black fungus get appeared. Where do the seeds of the fungus come from? Their bathroom was clean. And mind you, fungus is a botanical growth. There's a life element in it. Where does it come from? Those functionalities we will not understand. Anytime when your body gets somewhere, even a minute cut, new cells in the body somewhere gets generated. And who directs those cells to go right there where there was a wound, there was a cut? And it fits in such a beautifully so that you see there is no cut and there's no demarcation. Is that not an aha moment? You will not find the answer, but the question will not remain. And that silence is itself the revelation. And in the Yoga Shastra, the word is Vishmaya. That astonishment, that surprise will remain surprised forever, because that is you, that is the subject. And moment you try to know, it does not have nama rupa, it's not an object. And once there is no nama rupa, and that is what you are, it is like a drop of water looking for the ocean or looking for the water. That is where Kabir says, Bund samai sagar mein, ye janat sab koi. जब सागर समाया बुंद में जो जाने सो विरला हुई. Meaning, consciousness in you, awareness in you, and awareness so-called outside is not different. So the whole awareness, you can say, is in you. You are the awareness. You are not you, you are the awareness. So those who recognize this, those who experience this, anubhuti, not anubhava, anubhuti. So those who experience that, that is self-realization. Self means that awareness, that you realize. It's not that you memorize the entire Bhagavad Gita or all Upanishad or all Bibles and whatnot. This is self-realization. And for which you do not have to have a chevron clothes or minister's outfit. And also, you do not have to have any education whatsoever. On the contrary, lesser you have the education, lesser you have logical argument, and you will start enjoying Vishmaya. So, dear friends, you were never not, you are never not, and you will never be not. Meaning you exist forever. And so does everything else. Water exists, but the waveform changes. Forms are changing, but the water remains water. So let's not keep on identifying and keep on realizing the shape. You do your functionality, you enjoy your life, but with awareness. Sloka number 12, chapter 2. How powerful, how beautiful it is. So, starting from now on, remind yourself that all your celebration will have a different flavor henceforth. It may be birth, It may be in between celebration, or it can be a departure. It can be spring, or it can be a fall. Hari Om. That's it. If you have any questions, I don't think there is. And even if you have, perhaps I may not know the answer. Appears to be very difficult subject matter, but it is not, because of the illusion. It appears to us that it is difficult, but we have been given this life only for the purpose of removing that illusion and reaching to the state of self-realization. And this hope, it clarifies to us that there is nothing, no knowledge you have to explore utilizing all the computers, because that is Mourning, that is with us all. That is what we are. So,
Yeah.
yes.
I have confusion about, like you said, the water in the glass and you squeeze it, the water, it goes back in the sea. Well, similarly, our body is gone and there's a soul, but where is the soul? Nobody's seen it. How do you know it's there?
Water you could see, because water is an example.
Mm-hmm.
And all the examples that you can give
Mm-hmm.
are object, you could see it. But one which is present everywhere, how could you get hold of? You cannot. That's why toward the end I was mentioning that you will never get an answer. The question will not remain. And that also, if you recall, we have had many a time the example of these three salts, the statues made up of salt. And one statue dived deep into an ocean to find out how deep the ocean is. And the other two are sitting on the shore. That Mina is bold and she has gone to find how deep the water is. When she comes out, she will tell us how deep the water is. But the Mina herself get dissolved and became the ocean. What is she going to find it?
Nothing.
Nothing. Okay.
It's confusing.
Digest, Mariben, every word that got spoken, and if you want to, if all of you will want to, and it will be repeated over and over. And that is the beauty. There is no place you have to go to find out. There is no heaven you go to meet the God. You are the one. Om Brahmasmi. Those Sanskrit sentences or the words are so deep and so profound. And we understand that we understand.
Like we say, heaven and hell is right here. You don't know where, who knows where it is.
Who knows me? You will never know, because that's what you are. How are you going to
Where you are right now.
Okay.
Thank you.
Good question. Keep on asking and keep on asking until you yourself answers it. That there is nothing to be answered. Paradox. So, anybody else? Anything? I create a lot of confusion. And I know next Monday there will not be any but me talking to myself.
Swamiji, as you always told us, you cannot understand this with your mind because your mind will come with logics and refuses that or analyzes it. You have to become it, you have to contemplate it, you have to find it when you're in silence.
Correct.
So you can read about it forever, but contemplate on it and trying to go in, and that is what will help you.
Good thinking. Okay, so that's it. If anybody has the question, raise the hand. I'm not going to cut you short, but at the same time, I'm learning to respect time. Hari Om.